A Christmas Carol is basically a 90-minute magic trick. All elements came together in order to tell Scrooge's dark night of the soul seamlessly. What we're going to look at here is one small transition in the play, where Scrooge makes his way from his counting house to his bedroom. Seemingly innocuous, but incredibly complex. Here we are with Jefferson as he plays Scrooge, who is locking up his counting house, and he makes his exit, and as soon as he closes the door, everything begins to shift.
As Scrooge leaves his counting house, the wallpaper, which had been surrounding the door, fades away.
We transition from an interior to an exterior seamlessly without changing the position of any scenery. It's all about lighting and projection.
We amplify his voice to change the room and the location that he's in. So when he's in the counting house versus the streets versus his bedroom, we change the environment around him and the reflections in the theater itself so that it helps us understand location.
Dickens talks a lot about light, but mostly he talks about the absence of light. So he's talking about these foggy, dark corners, fog coming in under the door, just a candle in the corner, things are dismal, things are dark.
And this is the moment that the turntable moves for the first time, revealing to the audience that we're not quite in a static space.
The use of shadow was really important too in Ben's lighting. As you can see, Scrooge's shadow is sort of a character that he plays with.
One of the things we tried with the lighting design in this section was the use of moving footlights. And it was a really effective way of lighting Jefferson without lighting the floor. And we could track him from space to space, revealing as little as possible of the scenery.
As Jefferson describes the knocker, we start building resonance within the room. We start anticipating fear. We do that by using subsonic frequencies throughout the room to build anxiety and build fear underneath Jefferson's narration. This continues to build until it climaxes in the moment where lights, sound, video, and scenic all work together to create one jump scare moment.
Marley's knocker was one of my favorite moments in the show. I think Dickens describes it as an abysmal light, and we had to decide how to create that using Jefferson's face instead of the knocker. We came up with an innovation of hiding a light in Jefferson's hat so that we could refocus Jefferson's face for this moment.
As he moves downstage, the walls and door begin to move into a new position. We really wanted the space to be as unreliable and as shape-shifting as possible.
Jefferson transforms back into the narrator on the city streets. Lights, projections, sound all slowly fade to the scene that we had seen previously.
So what's happening now backstage begins a complicated ballet. The large staircase has been brought in by the crew and is placed on its spikes on the turntable.
At this moment, if you were in the audience, you'd have no idea that anything is moving, that a wall opened, let alone that this enormous scenic piece is slowly gliding on stage. We wanted the audience to notice things as Scrooge would have in the moment.
Now, of course, as you can see on stage, Jefferson is moving through basically complete darkness so that we cannot see the staircase coming on. But as is visible in the infrared here, the staircase is coming all the way down stage and into position as Jefferson is also maneuvering over a moving turntable under his feet.
It's one of the most magical moments in the piece, where Jefferson turns around with a lit candle, and all of a sudden, for the first time, we realize that there's a giant staircase there, and we hadn't even seen it come in.
Backstage, a unit that contains a crash pad for Jefferson is tracked into place, and in the stage right wing, a small staircase bringing his double into position also moves in. And as he begins to climb and the turntable rotates, sliding walls open again and begin to bring on a piece of furniture for Scrooge's room. Each time the turntable moves, that happens.
And we've lit Jefferson just so that you don't see him escape and jump off, and our double, Danny, steps into this shaft of light.
As we restore to normalcy, we think that we see Jefferson on the staircase continuing to climb.
And this is sort of the trickiest moment where he walks up the stairs and does a quick pass off of this lit candle you can see here in camera 3 to Jefferson just in time to open the door. Meanwhile, Dickens' beautiful language has never stopped.
He walked through his rooms to see that all was right.
He enters his room and it begins to assemble around him. And we thought getting back into our apartments in New York City was hard.
What makes the design for A Christmas Carol so complex is a lot about what you don't see. It's mysterious and dark, it's magical, it's a shapeshifter, it's unreliable.
We hope that the audience can't tell where his work ends and mine begins.
We always knew that we wanted to create focus for the show. We wanted to keep that focus on Jefferson and the storyline that was being told.
Sound, informed lighting, informed projection, informed scenery, all of which were in service of Jefferson's fabulous performance.
We all wanted to make sure that our designs supported Jefferson, that our designs supported the storytelling, and that while we wanted to create a spectacle, we wanted to create a ghost story and a theatrical event that hadn't been seen before.